Guys, what's up? Welcome to the Gear Guru tutorial. I'm going to quickly show you how Gear Guru can be used to pick better gear in Diablo 3 and hopefully save you some money in the auction house. And if you learn a little bit about the inner workings of the game at the same time, all the better. So let's get started. If you don't already have Gear Guru, you can scan this barcode to get it. It's available for all Android devices right now on the Google Play Market, including tablets. If you're from the Apple crowd, I do have a beta version of the app, but I'm just hammering out the last few bugs. If you're interested in beta testing it, please email gearguruapp@gmail.com. Okay, so here's how it works. Gear Guru uses the principle of effective health to compare all aspects of the game, from items, skills, attributes to shrines. For the uninitiated, effective health works like this. Let's say you had 10,000 hit points and a buff that reduced damage by 50%. That means an enemy would have to do 20,000 damage to kill your character. So we say your effective health is 20,000. Ultimately, effective health is how much raw damage a character can withstand. Since it's a measure of raw damage, it makes it really easy to compare various aspects of the game because all the complex things like resistances, dodge, and armor have already been factored in. Gear Guru has been programmed with hundreds of mathematical formulas to calculate the effective health for virtually every combination of skill, item, or buff. And by working with the effective health, we can get a really accurate picture of the value of given items and skills. And more importantly, by comparing the difference in effective health between those items, we can figure out which item is better and by how much. Okay, let me show you Gear Guru in action. To start, I'm going to pull up Gear Guru and make a new character. The first step is to enter the character details. This is pretty straightforward. The fields transfer directly from the in-game character screen. Just make sure you don't have any active or party buffs affecting you because that'll throw off all your stats. I set up Gear Guru to make this step very fast and easy. All the fields are in the same order they are in-game, and as you can see, when I click a field, it automatically selects all the text in the field, so I can just enter the number and then hit the next button and move on to the next field. Just a couple of quick notes before we move on to the other tabs. You probably already noticed that there is only one field for resistance. In most cases, I would recommend putting in your lowest resistance or your average resistance. For the melee classes, the monks and barbarians, you could also use your physical resistance. Just be mindful if you have a huge disparity between different elemental damage types. Okay, a little farther down the screen, we get into the attributes related to damage. Any field that starts with weapon refers to the stats on your main hand weapon only. Your offhand and everything else goes into the gear fields. Now, if you have multiple items with the same stat, you add those together. For example, one of my rings has plus 8 to 16 damage, and the other has plus 7 to 14 damage. Adding these together in the minimum damage field, I'm going to enter 15, and in the maximum damage field, I'm going to enter 30. Now that we've entered attributes for our character, we need to move on to the passive skills. It's very important to select the same passive skills that you have in game. Many passive skills modify your base attributes, such as armor, resistances, and that kind of thing. So Gear Guru needs to know which ones are active so it can calculate your unbuffed base attributes. I'm not going to select any skills in the active or party section for now, but we'll come back to them later. Okay, let's go over to the Overview tab. This is where Gear Guru shows you an in-depth analysis of your character. At the top, you have your calculated EHP with all the selected skills applied. Right below that is a very important section, the EHP equivalency section. What this tells you is the worth of each attribute as a ratio against vitality. In this example, we can see that one vitality point provides the same EHP gain as 13.84 armor points. You can use these ratios to quickly compare items in the auction house and then use Gear Guru to perform the final comparison after you've narrowed your search. Now, the DPS sections work exactly the same. With no active or party skills selected, the reported DPS should be fairly close to what is reported in game. Generally speaking, if your weapon does not have a plus percent damage modifier on it, the number will be exactly the same. For weapons with a plus percent damage modifier, due to some hidden factors behind the scenes in the game and some rounding that happens behind the scenes in the game, there'll be a small difference. These small differences are negligible, usually less than 2, so don't even worry about it. After verifying your DPS is fairly close to the value shown in game, you can go back to the Stats tab and select any active or party buffs you want to calculate in. Okay, next up is the Items tab. This is where we can do our item comparisons. Right at the top, we have this pull down menu. This is where we can set the type of item we are comparing, either a piece of armor or a weapon. Armor includes everything that isn't a weapon, even offhand items and rings. Now, I've got two items ready to go for this example. I've chosen them really to demonstrate the nuances of item comparison and how Gear Guru just simplifies the whole thing. In fact, I want you to test your own Diablo 3 knowledge right now. And as I enter this information into Gear Guru, try and figure out which is the better of the two items. All right, if you haven't picked an item yet, you can pause the video here until you're ready. Most people I've shown this to all pick the item with resist. About 30% of people pick the other item. The truth is, it's a trick question. Both items can be better than the other depending on the character's skills and attributes. With no skills applied, if we use Gear Guru to calculate these two items, then item 1 is the clear winner. But if we go back to the stats tab and enable Warcry with the impunity rune, then the second item becomes the best item. If we make yet again another change, let's say our character only has 150 dexterity, then item 1 becomes the better item again. I really wanted to stress how minor changes in build and attributes totally change the value of an item. That's why Gear Guru is such a necessary tool because it always gives you results that are custom tailored to your character. One last note about the items tab. If you press the equip button, Gear Guru will automatically adjust your character's attributes on the stats page to reflect wearing the new item, so you won't have to go in and update the attributes again. Okay, let's head on over to the Skills tab. This is a really neat feature of Gear Guru. Here you can see that all applicable skills and their runes have been calculated to show their impact on your effective health pool and DPS. If you scroll down, you'll see that a number of party skills have also been calculated. These are buffs you'd receive from group members if they have those particular skills active. All of these buffs are calculated with no other buffs applied, so nothing is stacked, not even the passive buffs you selected on the Stats tab. Now you can tap any of these EHP values to show a detailed pop-up with the breakdown of all classes of damage, being ranged, elite, and melee. Okay, and with that, I'll wrap up this tutorial. You can always find more detailed help in Gear Guru by tapping the yellow question boxes. There are also a number of resources available online at gearguruapp.com. If you're looking for the iOS version, as I said before, it's in beta. It's not quite available yet, but if you go to the website, you can subscribe to be notified when it is released. If you have any comments, tips, or suggestions, feel free to email me at gearguruapp@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.